trying to make it as fun as it could possibly be in this virtual setting. But we're so glad to have, it keeps going up, but over 150 people on this Zoom call right now, which is just awesome. While we can't be in person, we are going to make do with what we have. So just a few housekeeping, you've heard it all. I know we're all Zoom pros at this point, but if we can keep ourselves muted, and then keep your videos on if you'd like. We love seeing your festive backgrounds and cheersing with you and just seeing all of your faces. It's the best we can get at this point. And we recommend that you go on to speaker view if you want to highlight our speakers who you'll be hearing from this evening. And keep firing up that chat box to connect with all of your fellow members. We love to just try to have some fun in that way. It's a different world, but that's all right. We're still gonna make do. So without further ado, I am going to welcome on our board chair, Lori Richards, and our board chair-elect, Devona Wright-Cottrell, to lead us off in this celebration and just share some words with you guys as we kick things off. So Lori and Devona, you guys are up.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Kelsey. And I don't know about you, Devona, but there's no one I would rather celebrate with tonight than nearly 300 of my fellow Tempo and EWL ladies.
Exactly, Lori. I feel the same way.
So as 2020 grows to a close, many of us are probably reflecting on it as a year that maybe we'd rather forget. However, I'm a big believer that there are no mistakes, there's no wasted time, there are just opportunities to learn and grow.
Yeah, I can have this one, whatever is left in this.
So as I was reflecting back on the first half of my tenure as chair of the Tempo Milwaukee board, I was thinking about what wishes I would leave for you for the new year. So Devona and I just want to leave you with a few thoughts in the form of wishes for your new year. My first wish for Tempo and EWL members is for goodness. 2020 has been a challenging year, to say the least. I know this year I probably relied upon my Tempo network more than ever for support, advice, and encouragement. At times I felt like conflict was around every turn and that people in my life and in my workplace were constantly at odds. I hope that all we do, every action, every comment, every act, is rooted in a place of goodness and care for our sisters and brothers in 2021. My second wish for Tempo Milwaukee and EWL is for the courage to be unapologetic. If we're ever able to see silver linings in 2020, one of them for me for sure is that I often didn't have the time or bandwidth to mess with anything that was non-essential in my life. 2020 helped me reprioritize and take a true look at myself and at my life, and hopefully you found the same thing to be true with yours, and hopefully to shed the expectations of others, moving forward in a way that is true and authentic to ourselves. I believe we've done some important introspection over the last year as Tempo Milwaukee as well. And I'm confident that some of the changes that you'll see from this organization in 2021 represent a stronger, more diverse representation of the modern woman leader in Milwaukee. And I am so excited for you all to see that. And my last wish is for leadership. 2020 has taught us really valuable lessons about true leadership and the qualities that it takes to weather a storm. I'm incredibly proud of how this Tempo team navigated this past year and the value we provided to our members during this time. My wish is that all of you help to support a leader in 2021 by tapping a woman on the shoulder in this new year, telling her that you believe in her and giving her an opportunity to shine in a new role. Devona, it's not just me, but our entire board and membership of Tempo Milwaukee who is really thrilled to have you step in to a leadership role for our organization later in 2021 as we start our new fiscal year. So what are your 3 wishes for Tempo in the new year?
Thanks, Lori. I love your wishes for 2021. And just to reiterate your last point, I am equally excited about leading Tempo Milwaukee starting fiscal year 2021. And just reflecting on the current year, I have been, it's been a pleasure for me working alongside you, the Temple team and Temple board. 2020 is a year that I think all of us in some shape, form, or fashion want to put it in the rear view mirror. But my wishes for 2021 are relatively simple, and I wish to remain optimistic. So my first wish is for opportunity. I've heard it over and over, probably over the last 3 months, and I think it rings true in the sense that let no crisis go without incredible opportunity to follow. And so Tempo has innovated over the last year. We've pivoted in ways unimaginable. And my wish is that we would continue to build upon our wins in 2021, that we do not leave any women behind who wish to ride along beside us in this process. My second wish is purpose. It's something that personally I'm focused on, and I wish that Tempo would continue to remain focused in the area of purpose, that we are successfully moving toward implementation of our 2020 through 2023 strategic plan. The fact that we were able to implement a 2020 to 2023 strategic plan in 2020 is just monumentous among itself. And I'm looking forward for Tempo to continue to be purposeful around our mission and our vision, our brand position and perception, where we engage, which is really important, how we impact all women. And this leads me to my third and final wish, which is really inclusiveness. This concept is very similar to your concept of being unapologetic. One of my favorite quotes is, "Be the change that you would like to see in the world." Tempo is a source of strength for me and for so many other women. It's also been a source of enlightenment, I think, for me and so many other women during this time through our various relationships, as well as our programming in 2020. We must continue to expand our reach and our borders through diversity, inclusion, and equity, while being true to our purpose in order to be an even stronger women's organization in 2021. And when I say that, I mean an organization where leaders and emerging women leaders still look to us for growth and development and mentorship, and that our community looks to us for partnership, leadership, and insightfulness. So I'm incredibly optimistic for 2021, and I hope that all of you are as well. And with that, I will turn it over to our graceful and fierce leader, Jen Dirks.
Thank you so much, Lori and Devona. I completely share in your optimism. I loved each of your wishes. I too am so excited about what 2021 will hold for this organization. So thank you so much. I'm really, really excited to be under your leadership. And from a personal note, thank you for your guidance. We have chartered some really rocky waters over the last year. So I thank you both. It has been truly a pleasure to work beside you, work alongside of you, and learn from you as well. So thank you, Lori. Thank you, Devona. I can't wait for what 2021 holds for us. So thank you. Welcome. Good evening, all, to our Temple Milwaukee members, our emerging women leaders. It is so wonderful that you have joined us for this virtual holiday celebration. I know I say this about all of our signature events, but this truly is one of our all-time favorites of the year. I know I speak for the Tempo team and that we look forward to seeing you all at the Pfister Ballroom every single year. And while we can't see you in person, this is the next best thing. So thank you all for joining us tonight. We are really excited to look back at 2020 and then celebrate 2021 and what's ahead for the future of our organization. So we wanted to talk a little bit about some of our past reflections. And so I've been asked to share a little bit about my CEO reflections. And this picture, I started with this because to me, this encapsulates all of 2020 for me. Who knew masks would be that must-have, that statement piece of 2020? But if you look behind the masks, it's really a really powerful photo. Who knew that we would be behind masks for our leadership event? This was just taken a couple of weeks ago, that we would have to be socially distanced. So I think this says a lot about our organization and how we've pivoted. So I'll talk a little bit about the leadership event coming up, but to say 2020 has been a challenging, constantly changing, evolving roller coaster of a year would truly be an understatement. First, I know you'll agree, you heard it from Devona, you heard it from Lori, as much as we want to forget 2020 and maybe pass it aside, 2020 is a year I think we can all agree we will never forget. And for Tempo, our organization, we started our year with a new strategic plan and not knowing at all what was ready to come. We made an adjustment to fully embrace our new virtual reality, racial injustice that shook our community, our nation, and our world. And finally, our record-breaking first ever leadership event, just to name a few of the highlights. So if you look at this picture and look at everything that it encompasses, to me, this really talks a lot about the highlights from the last 12 months. We started off the year really strong. If you remember back in January of 2020, we were launching into our 45th year as an organization. So we had a lot to be thankful for. We talked about the 4 leaders who back in 1975 thought of a network and how powerful a network like Tempo would be. And so we were ready to celebrate, and that celebration continued into February. When you see that top of your screen to the left, the photo, that was at our 30th annual Mentor Awards. If you remember back to the Pfister Ballroom and the energy and the excitement of really celebrating this signature event, we welcomed back 30 recipients from our Mentor Awards. We had incredible event co-chairs and our 3 really wonderful winners. But who knew at that point that that would be our last in-person celebration for many, many months. So now if you pivot to and look at that screen or that photo in the middle of your screen, that was our Tempo team. It was during week 1 of quarantine at the end of March when we thought, you know what, this is just going to be a few weeks out of the office. In fact, our Tempo Milwaukee team put this photo out on social media and the caption read, "We will miss seeing our members for the next few weeks." Little or we had no idea how far off those next few weeks turned into several months, and we are still in that. We had no idea what was ahead of us for the next several months. But like many of the organizations and the companies on our call today, Tempo Milwaukee pivoted. That is the buzzword of 2020, and we worked to navigate our new normal and reimagine our organization in a virtual environment. We embrace technology to provide virtual programming and connection opportunities. We'll talk about those in just a moment. But as the reality of the pandemic began to set in, our greatest priority remained our members and keeping you at the forefront of everything we did. And I honestly have to say, the strength of our Tempo Milwaukee and our Emerging Women Leaders Network is more important than ever and is so powerful right now, more than the history of our 45 years. So we thank you for staying committed to our organization. We are so grateful that we achieved an 87% retention rate. Now that compares to 91%, which we have trended over the last couple of years, an 87% retention rate during a global pandemic, which is just incredible. And it goes to, again, that strength and the importance of a network like Tempo Milwaukee. So thank you all to our members for your continued support of our organization. And during this challenging time, our organization continues to grow. It's unbelievable. I've been introduced to so many on virtual Zoom calls. We've got so many new faces that are joining us today. 89 new Tempo Milwaukee members in the last 12 months, as well as 85 new emerging women leaders, many of whom are joining us for the very first time for your first Tempo Milwaukee event. So welcome to all of our new Tempo Milwaukee members and our emerging women leaders. A shout out to you. 2020 was also momentous in that we wrapped up our strategic plan, and building off of those successes and learnings, we embarked on a new strategy for the next 3 years. If you can remember back to our annual meeting in April, that was our first virtual meeting. It was attended by almost 275 of you, where we announced our 2023 strategic plan. And as you can see on our screen, at the heart of our strategic plan remains the member experience. And what are we providing? What value are we continuing to provide to our members? And how are we engaging our members? And how are we going to reach those goals for our 2023 strategic plan? Through our network and value, through our legacy and brand, our focus on equity and belonging, as well as our commitment to the community and an impact that we're having through our Temple Milwaukee Foundation. Each of these priorities are supported by a financially strong organization. And I am so proud to say that we are really financially strong organization at this time. And it's really a credit to all of you. And thank you so much to our Temple Milwaukee boards, all of our committee members, and our committee chairs as well. Undoubtedly, the biggest change for Tempo this year was our transition to virtual programming, which I believe we have truly embraced. The Temple Milwaukee board, our committee meetings, our EWL leadership team, and so on and so on. Events of all sizes have continued, and we've done it in a virtual environment. We've even done it in some creative outdoor settings, just to make sure that we are continuing to provide that value to our members. So thank you to each of you who stuck with us through this transition, through this challenging year. Even when that Zoom fatigue was setting in, I know it has set in, you stuck with us, and I thank you for showing up. You'll remember back on April 3rd, we launched our very first Tempo Talks. And this was something new that we started, but it was in response to how do we continue to provide that programming value? And we launched it with Temple Milwaukee member Maggie Dawn from Milwaukee County, when this was right at the height of, as we were learning everything we could about the COVID virus and how much it was going to impact our community. And she shared some really incredible statistics and what we should know and how we could get out there and better educate ourselves. Since then, the Tempo team has executed 22 Tempo Talks, and those sessions have been able to feature the expertise and the experience of 51 Temple Milwaukee members, as well as 5 emerging women leaders, and drawing an average attendance of 105. So really our members showed up, and we truly embraced not only this platform, but it gave us the opportunity to showcase the strength of our community and the expertise of our individuals. And what I'm really excited about is that what we learned is this is not going away. We will continue to provide this virtual programming to all of our members, even after COVID, because it's such a value add. So it's really incredible. Finally, another initiative that we will continue even when we are able to meet safely in person is our Tempo and our EWL Coffee Connections. If you are not aware of this initiative, this was really due to the response from our engagement team, our programming team, our membership committee, who really stepped up to say, how can we provide a virtual networking opportunity? And this is really an effortless connection. We have 132 matches yet so far, and we only launched this a couple of months ago, but it really gives you, a Temple Milwaukee member or an EWL member, the chance to connect with somebody maybe that you don't even know, or that you have met but haven't had a time to connect with them in this virtual environment. These will continue on throughout our existence of Temple Milwaukee. So if you haven't participated yet, we really encourage you to sign up in the Monday message. My fourth reflection is on Tempo's response to racial injustice. And I have to be honest with you, this has been one of the most challenging and really tough years for me and throughout my career as a CEO of Temple Milwaukee. But beyond that, 2020 has been a really difficult year. And as I stated in my CEO reflection, that I shared with all of you, Temple Milwaukee is one of the most important voices in our city. And I believed, as did our board, that we had a responsibility, we had a duty. And as an organization with influence, we had a responsibility to stand up against the murders and brutalization of our Black and Brown citizens in our community and in our country. I am really forever grateful to my Tempo squad of incredible leaders who answered that phone when I called, who answered that email when I sent it, who provided incredible guidance and counsel as I continue to educate myself, who honestly was really transparent with me and who told it like it was and didn't hold back, even when it may not have been something I was quite ready to hear or comfortable with. So I thank you. I am forever grateful to my incredible squad of Temple leaders. I'm also really proud of our members who showed up and showed out, who really spoke their truths, who led courageously curious conversations, and whose actions have supported the efforts and continue to support the efforts of our organization to truly change the narrative in our community. I have learned, and I've heard from so many of you, that we are all still on our journey of learning, and I continue to be taught so much in this critical space, so I thank you. You will recall, in response to George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and their murders, and at the request of members truly seeking a safe space, we started our Tempo Real Talks back in June. In the first session, we just asked our members to show up and to talk about what they were feeling, what they were hearing, and what they wanted answers for. And those conversations were rich. And we had more than 200 members join us for that really powerful, impactful discussion. And since then, those discussions have turned into in-depth discussions around Robin DiAngelo's White Fragility. We have reviewed 6 chapters. We are ready to launch into chapter 7. If you have not joined this, you can still join it. We're going chapter by chapter. These are really critical conversations, and I really encourage you to join in this important dialogue. Our 2021 schedule will be coming out shortly, so I do encourage you to look for that. At the same time, our board recognizes that the Tempo Real Talks is not just the solution. It is not our only answer, and it's not going to be the only answer to create that culture of equity and belonging for Tempo. But the 4 strategic pillars on the screen are part of Temple Milwaukee's equity and belonging focus. And we believe and we know that there are actionable steps that we are taking to operationalize diversity and inclusion into the fabric of Temple Milwaukee, into everything we do, from our programming to our membership, to creating that inclusive environment for all of our members. So we are on a journey, and we are fortunate and so very truly blessed to have an incredible D&I committee led by the amazing Erica Joy Daniels. You'll see these incredible women on your screen. These are all members who have volunteered their time to be a part of this conversation, to help us learn, to educate us. I thank you. You're helping us drive our diversity and inclusion initiatives, and we are really incredibly blessed. We still have a lot of work to do in our DEI space, but I am truly optimistic. I'm hopeful, given the overwhelming support that I have received, as our board has received, that Temple Milwaukee has a voice. We have an important voice, and we will continue to use it to create and make change in our community. So thank you. My 5th and final reflection brings me great joy, and like tonight's event, ends 2020 on a high note. I look back on 2020 and I will remember our 15th annual leadership event with the amazing and incredible Gabrielle Union. Truly, it goes down as one of the best nights of my career. And I would be remiss if I didn't first thank the Temple Milwaukee board for believing in my crazy ideas. It was a risky idea to bring this type of event virtually to our members, and to, make sure that we were moving full steam ahead with the highest caliber event that we could offer, and doing something that few organizations have even tried. That night, if you look back, it was only just weeks ago. It feels like it was months ago, but it was only just weeks ago. On November 19th, we elevated Tempo to new heights. We attracted a national audience. That screen capture in the left-hand side we were all across the country, and that was just amazing. More than 1,600 people tuned in to the 15th annual leadership event, the majority of which were very new to Tempo, and they had never heard of our organization or our mission, but like so many, have become true believers in what we are working to accomplish. We engaged with 57 sponsors while also supporting several local nonprofits that serve women and girls. And it was indeed, I think Lori and Devona said it during the leadership event, that this was something that was by far incredibly larger than anything we had ever done in our 45-year history. But what I am most proud of is how we leaned in truly to the many, many lemons that COVID-19 threw at us, and we made lemonade out of it. And it was a truly wonderful experience. To our event co-chairs, Kathleen, Karita, and Liz, you also believed in my crazy, crazy ideas, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It was a really wonderful event. And to my team, my Tempo team, Marit, Kelsey, and Amanda, for showcasing your truest talents throughout the year, your incredibly hard work, and your unwavering support to pull off this larger than life event, to pivot throughout the year with our incredible programming. I am truly, truly blessed to have an A team. So thank you, each of you. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to one of the members of my phenomenal A team, Marit Harms-Franzi, to highlight another truly important milestone for us this year. Marit.
Thanks, Jen. You did great. Good job.
I got through it without
over.
crying.
Yeah,
I got through it.
you got through it. Drink your champagne. You're done.
That's right.
So hey, everyone, and I am so happy to keep the celebration and reflections going. So it was almost exactly 5 years ago tonight. It was December 17th, 2015, that many of you joined us in the Pfister Grand Ballroom to congratulate the inaugural class of 40 emerging women leaders into the Tempo family. There was so much we didn't know then, so much I didn't know. I had been at Tempo, I think, a few months at that point. EWL was a blank page, but the energy and enthusiasm to create a community for mid-career women was there. To quote Marilyn Krause, founding board member and the ultimate champion of EWL, while we were optimistic about its eventual success, we have been truly amazed and astounded by the level of interest, action, and enthusiasm. So fast forward to today, celebrating the 5-year anniversary of EWL. We stand at 284 members strong. That is 607% membership growth. We have phenomenal leadership, 8 committees who plan programming, professional development, mentoring, and community impact opportunities, and the list goes on. The list goes on, so much more, and so much has happened between now and then. Too much for me to share here. So I invite you to read the EWL Impact Report that you received via email this afternoon, which tells the story of the past 5 years. Cheers to that. Cheers to EWL. I love those ladies. And I just want to give a special shout out to our EWL leadership team shown here on the screen for your dedication during this unconventional year. But in so many ways, we have actually grown closer this year because of COVID and the virtual world, and I am so thankful for that. It is my absolute pleasure to get to work with you all and have your support, mentorship, and friendship as we are figuring this out together. Together, we are unstoppable, and the best is yet to come as we continue to evolve into the premier organization for emerging women leaders. And now I am very excited to hand the mic to Nicole Gulatz. Nicole was part of that inaugural class of 40 members standing in the Pfister Ballroom, probably not knowing what was going on. So she's really experienced it all. And in 2019, Nicole was nominated for and accepted into Tempo. Nicole is one of 11 former EWL members now in Tempo, and she is going to say a few words. Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you. I'm honored to speak. And I definitely do remember that night very well, being very scared, very nervous. All of us that were in EWL, we had these pearl bracelets that we got. And so I remember just kind of like looking around to see who was kind of clinging to my husband, which hilariously I never do anymore when we come to these events. So the first few years of EWL, I just got some of the most incredible learnings for my career. I remember very well the economic outlook was my first one, learning about storytelling, learning about branding, have made just amazing connections through EWL. And I was smiling, reflecting a little bit on this. When Denise Thomas started the Effective Communications Coach, she was kind enough to take me on as one of her clients when we started to do video updates for our Red Cross department. And Denise helped me so much. Hopefully she's seeing her talent shine right now too, we'll see. Janine Emmer helped me refinance my mortgage, which was just super cool. And I continue to save every month. So thank you, Janine, for sharing your talent. And to all those in my mentor circle, we continue to connect today, and it is just wonderful. EWL also gave me so many opportunities to be lifted. For the first time, I facilitated a session on squad goals with a very cool group of Tempo members, which was just such a neat experience for me. And also got to share some of my love fundraising with group on a panel, which was just a wonderful experience. People enjoyed my fundraising zine, I hope. So I love to share that. But yes, I also just think about the fact that my first volunteer event with EWL was actually for the Boys and Girls Club's girls event. And at that time I worked for the Red Cross, and I'm now the vice president of the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee. That's something I couldn't have imagined. And what I think is even cooler is that last summer, I guess, we started to talk about sort of restructuring our fundraising team. And I thought about, you know, who is awesome at fundraising? I'm going to go to EWL. That's Becky Stoner. And so Becky is now just about on her 1-year anniversary with us at Boys and Girls Clubs as our director of development operations. She's fabulous. She's transformed it. And Tempo and EWL is just a place where I always, I know there's rock stars here, and anytime I have a job that I need to fill, this is going to be the first place that I go. So I treasure that. You know, through Tempo now as a member for 2 years, continue these learnings, these connections. This group is just so wonderful. I think what I've especially enjoyed is doing the one-on-one mentoring with Sophie Maldonado, shout out, and also the one-on-one connections. That has just been so fun. So I want to leave everybody with a charge that I think, you know, we have a gift in this group, and the best way to build our networks is to use them. So if there's something you can do tonight in this new year, lift another woman by sharing awesome things that she's doing, or helping her with something that can help her go further. We're better together. And the fact that we are here, someone has poured into us. So I want to close. I'm at the office, the camp office right now. So I don't have a drink, but I have some hand sanitizer. So a cheers to EWL, a cheers to Tempo, and a cheers to the person who brought me into this room. Well, not this room, but the Zoom room, Patty Flowers, my mentor and my sponsor coming into EWL. So thank you all, and I will hand it back to Marit. Thanks.
Thanks, Nicole. And Denise wrote in the chat, you did great. So your sessions paid off. So I am going to share my screen again. And now we are going to turn our attention to the next 45 years of Tempo Milwaukee.
A single voice hitting the right note can shatter glass.
Many voices build on that timbre and strength.
They resonate. They create a vibration that can shake foundations.
Change expectations.
Many voices ring through and ring true.
Tempo is a group of women who have spoken up,
Risen above.
And defied conventions to succeed.
And we are committed to helping others do the same.
We are each bold,
Smart, strong.
and uniquely powerful.
Together, we are unstoppable.
Together, our voices rise, and the world rises with us.
Good evening, ladies. I hope you enjoyed that. I don't know about you, so I've had the chance to see that before, but even seeing it again, I just want to sit a little bit taller. I'm inspired. I feel proud. I just can't believe I get to be with women like that and like women like all of you. Wow. So what was that? Well, I'll tell you in a second. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Rebecca Ehlers. I'm the Vice President of Marketing and Communications for Lumen Schools. And I have the privilege of being on the Temple Board of Directors, chairing the Communications Committee, and I got to work on a really fun project. And you are getting a sneak peek tonight. So what that was is a sneak peek of Tempo's new branding. So as you've heard numerous times tonight, 2020 is the 45th anniversary for Tempo, and we've all endured a lot of change. Some of that change was forced on us, but I think a lot of us are actually taking this opportunity to sort of change ourselves, right? Sort of re-examine who we are as individuals, looking at our organizations differently, look at how we live our lives. And so Tempo did the exact same thing, but we sort of asked ourselves, so on this 45th anniversary, let's think about what does the next 45 years look like? You know, how do we adequately capture all of this? You know, how do you bottle this up? The power of this women and who we are, the impact we have, and how do you share that with other people who just have no idea? So while our values remain the same, we saw an opportunity to take a fresh look at the way we represent ourselves, our commitment to elevating women, their causes, and their contributions to business and community. So fortunately, when you have to take on a big project like that, there's no shortage of talent when you look at our Tempo member directory. There's always somebody or many somebodies who are experts in different areas. So what we did is we reached out to Tempo member Linda Hogan, who was the Chief Operating Officer at Beta Rudder and one of the largest agencies in the Milwaukee area. So we asked for some help. We asked for some guidance. You know, how do we do this big project? And of course, she was happy to put her agency's resources to work. So in partnership with Tempo's Board of Directors, our Communications Committee, several Tempo and EWL members, and the talented Tempo team, Linda and the Beta Rudder team led us through a thorough brand refresh process over the past 6 months. And they did all of it pro bono. So thank you, Beta Rudder. So we are incredibly grateful for this inspiring and tireless work of the Beta Rudder team and all those who influenced this process along the way. So you saw a sneak peek of this in the video, but we're going to give you a little bit more tonight. So I'm going to introduce Linda Hogan, Beta Rudder's Chief Operating Officer and Tempo member, who's going to take you a little bit deeper into the new branding for Tempo.
Thank you, Rebecca. This is an honor for me being part of this organization. But first of all, before I go into it, shout out to our talent in that video because that came together so quickly. And I will tell you that the team that I worked with at the agency was so excited to be part of this project and so impressed with the cooperation of these fantastic women. I think through this project alone, we've probably recruited some EWL members, so it's a good thing. But you know, we were thrilled to be asked to work on this important assignment. I consider branding to be critical to an organization. And to demonstrate the strong creative powers of women, we engaged an all-female creative team to develop this work. The tone, language, and look are all inspired by the women of Tempo, who generously shared their insights, experiences, and vision. Building on this and distilling it to core truths that make Tempo a powerful brand, We arrived at a platform that is clean and modern, yet has classic elements that we think are going to take Tempo through the next 40 plus years. You'll see the new Tempo logo is designed to feel both modern and timeless, using strong but spare design elements. And the E is meant to signify the movement of rising, with the pop of gold lending an elegant touch. The language that we're going to be using starts with a focus on that individual voice and builds to Tempo as a group. The women who achieve, and then the world who benefits from our success. In the months to come, Beta Rudder will be working to help guide Tempo in the application of this refreshed brand look and feel. We'll be featuring the many faces of Tempo, those powerful individual voices that gather even more strength together in a design system that is strong and a color palette that pairs elegant muted tones with bold accent colors. So I'll just say that our team is extremely proud of this work. We hope you are as excited as we are to see it come to life. But more importantly, I think that what struck us and what struck the women on the team that I worked with is that we really do feel honored to support an organization of such talented and accomplished women. I know this organization, I've been part of this organization, but to go through interviews and to actually see and hear what people say about this organization just made me feel incredibly proud. We are so thrilled to have done this work, and we're really looking forward to seeing it come to life. So to the organization, again, thank you for inspiring us. Thank you for all you do. And I'll turn it back over to Jen.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, Beta Rudder. Chills, goosebumps, all the feels, all the good feels. I know that I shared with the team that I was crying for sure when I saw what this video, what this impact of this new brand and image. So kudos to you. Thank you to all that participated. Really, really excited. I'm seeing the chat going crazy with asking for merchandise. So you may see something of that in a swag bag. So we'll not reveal anything just yet, but thank you so much for all of your hard work. Really, really excited about that and really thrilled that we are on this new journey with our brand refresh. So with that, I think that is a far great time to raise a glass. It's now time for our official toast. So if you have a glass with you, I want to continue the theme of Board Chair Lori Richards and Chair-elect Devona Wright-Cottrell that they started at the beginning of the night with 3 wishes. And mine are simple. And I wish for kindness and empathy. I wish for success and prosperity. And I wish for all of you a happy and a healthy 2021. Raise your glass. Cheers, Temple Milwaukee. Oh, that's good champagne. In addition to 2021 and all that we just saw, I'm so looking forward to even more of the gradual rollout of our new logo. As Linda mentioned, we will be incorporating this into everything from our website to new marketing materials to just a really fresh and bold look. It's so innovative. I'm so excited about it. We're also resuming our third Thursday program meetings. They will continue as virtual for now, but it will get back into that cadence so that when we are all ready to return in person, it will be on your calendar as the third Thursday. We will be celebrating our Mentor Awards virtually again this year, or virtually this year, as our 31st annual Mentor Awards, and we've moved it to April of 2021. So look for the nominations. There are truly so many Mentor Award recipients within that organization, within this community, that have really showed up in the last 12 months. So we encourage you to nominate them and get your nominations through. And then we will also be taking applications and awarding grant recipients for our Tempo Foundation Continuing Education Grant in April as well. So much to look forward to in 2021. And we are extremely grateful for your continued commitment to our organization. So with that, we have one final token of gratitude. I'm going to turn it back over to another member of our awesome A-team, Kelsey Aragon. Kelsey, take it away.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, everyone. We at Tempo are just, I mean, we've said it probably so many times, but we can't really express it enough. So thankful for our members just sticking with us. This was quite an uncertain year, to say the very, very least. But just kind of reflecting back on those first meetings we had in quarantine of what is this going to look like for Tempo, to now having more than 200 people on a Zoom call, sticking with us, it just means so much. So the Tempo team wanted to really just show a little bit of our gratitude to you guys for joining us. And we put together a little holiday gift bag for each of you on the call today. We wanted to make sure that this was locally sourced and supporting some female entrepreneurs. So Sway team or Sway Tea have been our gift partners with us for your guys' holiday gifts, and a few little other surprises in the bag as well. So I will be emailing you guys to set up some logistics for the pickup of that. We're going to do some contactless pickup with the Tempo team. Again, just another way to spread some holiday cheer. So mark your calendars, save the date, December 18th, from noon to 5 p.m. Take a little bit of chunk out of that Friday afternoon to come drive by the Tempo team and pick up your gift bag, just as a thank you. And now, before you guys sign off, we are going to close with what we think is just the best way to wrap this Zoom call. We have pulled in the most exciting person of this team. Sorry, Mart and Jen. Our intern extraordinaire, Amanda Patterson, has been pulled in for this to lead you all in our holiday cheer activity. Amanda, are you ready?
I am so ready.
All right, lead them off.
All right, everyone. So yes, my job here tonight is to round out this beautiful evening and spread some holiday cheer to you all. So with that said, if everyone would please go to the website you see on the screen and enter in the code that you see, and I'll give everyone a minute to get there. You can go on your desktop or on your laptop or on your phone, whichever you prefer. And if you prefer not to participate and you just kind of want to watch, that's totally fine. Or if as the questions are going, you don't want to fidget with the website, you can always drop your answer in the chat of the Zoom call as well. So I'll give everyone a minute to do that, and I will start sharing my screen. Okay, and it looks like we've already got some answers coming in. So the first question is, which tree is your favorite? We've got the palm tree, the Christmas tree, the Charlie Brown tree, or the tree of life. And so far, it looks like the classic Christmas tree is coming in strong. I don't think the Charlie Brown tree is getting the love that it deserves, but I get it. Okay, so it looks like overwhelmingly we tend to prefer the Christmas tree. And actually, if I had to choose, my answer would be the palm tree, because I am actually moving to Arizona in 3 weeks. So that will be my tree of choice for the next few months. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead to our next question. What is your favorite snow day activity? I think mine is probably baking something inside, because I do not like the cold or the outdoors that much. Okay, so it looks like a lot of people like to ski. Netflix and pajamas, hot cocoa, sledding, obviously, good call. Sledding and hot cocoa, reading a book by the fire. Hot fire, hot cocoa, and my hot hubby. Whoever said that, I love that for you. Let's see, baking and Netflix, baking, yes. Skiing, movies, yes, lots of snuggly. I'm seeing a really half and half, like half we love being inside and warm and cozy. The other half are more adventurous than the rest of us. Okay, great. So next question is, what is your favorite tradition during the holiday season? And while everyone thinks of their response, I will share mine. I think mine is probably Christmas Eve. My family, we go to church and we drink wine and we do gifts, and it's just kind of really nice. That's the one time a year for sure that we're all together, because I have a pretty big extended family. So let's see, a lot of this has to do with food, which I really resonate with. So I really appreciate that about you guys. Doing whatever I damn well please. I love that. For whoever said that, that's great. So I'm seeing a lot of baking, Christmas cookies, happy birthday Jesus cake on my kids with my kids on Christmas morning. Lobster. All right, a family gift exchange. My family does that too. That's always super fun. Candy Cane Lane. I used to go there all the time when I was younger. Haven't been in a while, but that's good. Fun place for sure for the kids. Time with the family. Bailey's Irish Cream. That goes with pretty much everything. And traveling. Okay, great. So we're going to go on to our next question. Next question is, what is the funniest gift you have ever given or received? I'm really looking forward to these answers. I will share mine first. Mine was my sophomore year of high school for a gift exchange. I received a box of mini muffins, leather underwear, a pool cue, a wine glass that holds an entire bottle. Whoever said that, we need to talk because I would like one. A shake weight, a regift, a Golden Girls Chia Pet, a leg lamp, love that, a betta fish, a vacuum, a wolf mask, a Packer shirt that said I want to get clayed, don't we all? Macaroni and cheese. My daughter got a puberty book from her grandma in front of the whole family. I bet that was awesome for her. A shower head, an old high school track meet trophy, a box of baby teeth. Wow. These are lovely, you guys. You are beyond lucky to have received these amazing gifts. All right, next question. When is the right time to start listening to holiday music? Is it November 1st at midnight, the day after Thanksgiving, December 1st, December 23rd, always, or never? So far, it looks like the majority are saying the day after Thanksgiving. I am guilty of, like, the minute Halloween is over, Mariah Carey starts singing and does not stop until the new year for me. Let's see, 3 people said never. And of course, as Krista Brookman pointed out, tonight is the first night of Hanukkah. So if you celebrate, happy Hanukkah to you. So yeah, it looks like the majority are saying the day after Thanksgiving. And the next question, what is your favorite holiday treat? I think for me, it's those like peanut butter cookies where there's like a Hershey Kiss in the middle. Those are pretty good. All right, let's see here. All of the food, eggnog, wine, lobster, fudge, rum balls, hot cocoa, Bailey's and hot chocolate, very good. Bailey's, alcohol in general, anything with booze. I'm sensing a theme here. Wine, cookies, lots of cookies. A heavily poured Tom and Jerry hot toddy. Yes, I'm seeing lots of cookies and different drinks here, which I think all sound great. Okay, and then that kind of leads into our next question, which is actually, what is your go-to cold weather drink? So that can be a pumpkin spice latte, hot cocoa, eggnog, mulled wine, apple cider, or if it's something else, you can go ahead and drop it in the chat. So far it's looking like we've got a lot of hot cocoa fans in the house. I'm guessing that could be with or without Bailey's or whatever you prefer. All right, let me check the chat here and see what else we're working with. I actually can't see the chat. Okay. So not a lot of PSL or eggnog fans. Me neither. Okay, so overwhelmingly, we've got 48 people saying hot cocoa, and I think I would have to agree. And then kind of on a more serious note, well, not serious, I don't want to like, it's not bumming you out, but our final question is, and Lori and Devona and Jen have all kind of touched on their hopes and wishes for Tempo in the coming year. So final question, what is one wish that you have for Tempo in 2021? And kind of what do you hope to see come to fruition next year? Hugs, seeing each other in person, meet in person, to become a member. Yeah, so it looks like a big party in real life. I think that would be mine too. Hopefully this time next year, we can all be together hugging and drinking wine and whatnot together. Vaccinated members, celebrations, to meet more people, more connections, in-person Christmas party. Yeah, so definitely, oh, new merch. Okay, well, that's exciting. Stay on the lookout for your little goodie bags. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, so overwhelmingly, it looks like we are just all excited to get back together again, and I couldn't agree more. So that is the end of my portion for the holiday
perfect,
cheer.
Amanda.
And I'm going to pass it back to Jen.
That was awesome. Thank you so much, Amanda. My wish is that you continue to be this, end our session on this. You were great in that role. So it was really incredible. I do have an amazing, amazing Tempo team. So thank you to our Tempo team, to our board, to our committee members, our leadership event co-chairs, Tammy, Karita, Kathleen, Liz. Just really, really thankful to all of our members. Thank you for joining us tonight. Be sure to watch for Kelsey's email about the virtual or the swag bag that you can pick up. But thank you. Happy holidays. Cheers, Temple Milwaukee. Thank you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you.